All eyes are on Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell after yet another health scare. For the second time in 5 weeks, he seemed to freeze while speaking to reporters. The conservative tastemakers at National Review are now urging McConnell to step aside from his leadership post. In its latest editorial, the publication says the time has come for the Kentucky senator, after his long, impressive run, to make the decision to step aside from leadership. Prudence and realism have been hallmarks of his leadership and now are called for in considering his own future. Joining me now is Rich Lowry. He's the editor-in-chief of National Review, my friend and a person who knows things. Rich, thanks for being with us.
Tastemaker, wow. Chris, you make it sound like we're telling people what to match up with their glass of Pinot Noir at night.
I assume there's a wine club. I assume there
was for a while. You got us there.
At the Dispatch, it's all just bratwursts. Okay. This did not come easily or lightly, I know, from you guys, because I know of the respect and admiration that many in your pages have had for McConnell and his leadership inside the Republican Party for the past decade. Walk us through the thinking around this.
Yeah, we're huge admirers of McConnell. He's obviously the most consequential and effective Senate leader of this era. But, whoops, we got a little, some sort of alarm going on here. But I'm going to fight right through it, Chris, as long as that's okay.
See if you can get through it.
Yeah. So, you know, people around McConnell say he's still completely lucid outside of these two incidents, which were very concerning. To the layman, it seems more than lightheadedness, but maybe it was lightheadedness. But our view is, look, he's visibly aged since he had this bad fall in March. Go out on your own terms. Do it for yourself. Do it for your colleagues. Do it while you can still plot it out, where you're not suffering any more humiliations. And you can give a really, well-deserved, thoughtful farewell speech. And I expect, this could be a slow burn thing. He doesn't have to do it today, tomorrow, or next week, but eventually that's what he'll do.
Rich, I am concerned about your safety because I feel like someone is about to come in and take you out of here.
Chris.
You're not running?
Totally
okay, that's
unafraid.
Good. The cable news comes first. I just quickly, so Nancy Pelosi laid out a path that McConnell could follow, which is she didn't resign from the House. She stayed in the House even as she stepped aside as Democratic leader. And I worried for Hakeem Jeffries. Would she be undercutting his authority? It seems to have worked the other way. Could something like that work for Mitch McConnell?
Yeah, no, I think totally. By the way, this kind of siren is what went off when we first ran this editorial. such a big deal.
The NRSC was sending scuds, I know.
Yeah, I think that's the model, right? I mean, he doesn't seem fundamentally debilitated, thank God. But leadership it's a tougher role, requires more energy. So step aside from that on the Pelosi model, and he'll still be highly influential, right? He's been around forever. He's very shrewd. His colleagues love and respect him. They'll seek out his advice. So that seems a real plausible model.
Well, look, one thing that we know, certainly the folks in the Senate that I talk to, staffers and whatever, the one thing that they can count on Mitch McConnell for, they know, is to be a good quarterback in a campaign cycle. And the clock is running down on that. How much do you think that considerations about getting Republicans ready for the next campaign cycle should influence McConnell's decision here?
Some, and obviously some Republicans, we saw this from Nikki Haley, they want to criticize Biden, understandably, for being quite aged and declining in front of our eyes. And it's awkward if you have a majority leader who's having these sort of incidents. So she is very harsh about McConnell. But I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a personal decision. He's not going to get pushed. There's some reporting today, as you know, there's going to be a special caucus meeting called by McConnell critics to force something on him. That's not going to happen. It's going to happen on his terms. And again, it's not going to happen immediately, but I expect it will happen by the end of the year.
Well, one of the things that I admire about you, I think everybody admires about you and your publication, is you say hard things even when you get a little blowback, and they send the scuds in and they have to ring the alarms. That's what tastemakers do. It's not just about your Pinot. Rich Lowry, thank you so much for making time for us, and have a great holiday weekend.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.